Hey guys, what's up? Cowboys Critique here. Looking at our depth chart right now, after the additions of Brandon Cooks, Stephon Gilmore, and also Ronald Jones, I'm not counting the Chuma Edoga signing as a ton. I still see our starting players being hopefully Tyron Smith moving back to left tackle, Tyler Smith coming back to left guard, Tyler Biotish, Zach Martin, and then Terrence Steele coming in at right tackle. Okay. Same thing for Dante Fowler. I think he's a good rotational piece. I'm not confident that he's going to be someone who turns out is going to wreck games. I really don't. And so with these additions, I don't think it changes the Cowboys' draft philosophy very much. It prevents us from having a need that we reach for. If there's a receiver or a corner that maybe isn't worth a round one pick, but because we didn't have another receiver or because we didn't have Stephon Gilmore, we felt pressured into taking them. I think that situation is gone now. I think the Cowboys have done a wonderful job of setting themselves up to just take the best player available. However, that doesn't mean I think they should be done in free agency. I want another receiver. If that's draft free agency, I wouldn't mind taking another free agent because I want CeeDee Lamb to move back into the slot. I want Brandon Cooks on the outside. I don't want Michael Gallup on the outside because after watching him play last year, I have zero faith. But we really don't have anyone else. Jalen Tolbert, as I've said in previous videos, they keep him out when he's healthy. I don't trust him at all. Simi Fehoko, same thing. He hasn't been out, and they're holding him out. He has not been unhealthy his entire time with the Cowboys. He has just not played. So I think receiver is a need. I want another outside receiver. I think tight end is something they could consider first, second round. I wouldn't mind adding another offensive lineman. I don't want to rely on Tyron Smith because odds are he's going to get injured. And that is why they added Edoga. They're anticipating him getting injured. I would like another young player on the offensive line. As far as defense goes, I want another corner. Probably in the draft, I want someone young. I don't think we need someone to start right now. That's why I think there is no chance of re-signing Anthony Brown. I think he wants to start, and he will not be. We have a starting lineup right now that I think is good, but I want someone for when Stephon Gilmore leaves or when inevitably Trevon Diggs needs a big payday, and we can't hold everybody. So that's the situation we're in. As far as free agents, I'm looking more at receiver for free agents. I mean, I wouldn't mind signing someone like N'Keal Harry, re-signing T.Y. Hilton. Jarvis Landry, I think, could be a cheap option at around $3 million a year. I think that's a possibility, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Same for N'Keal Harry. If we signed one of these guys or we signed Ty, I think I'm okay. I would probably rather sign Jarvis Landry or get N'Keal Harry on a cheaper long-term deal. I'm happy with that. Get someone young that I realize he hasn't produced, but we're not asking him to be a number one receiver. We're asking him to be a number two. Okay? That's what I want. I want to get just another piece that can come in and fill in if Gallup can't get back to where he was, because Gallup was not it last year. That was sad. So I would only be interested. There's not a ton of offensive lineman options. And the only one that comes to mind that I think would be a good, as long as he's cheap, would be, where is he? Lawan. If we can get Taylor Luan for cheap if he wants to keep playing. I would not be opposed to signing him to a cheap deal, not starting deal. But I think if he's willing to come in for a cheap, and he probably isn't. But that's the only guy that if they signed him, I'd be like, wow, that's a good pick. Well, I don't want Jason Peters back. I mean, if he's cheap, sure. But I don't foresee him. You'll be replacing an old injury-prone player with another old injury-prone player. If Tyron Smith goes down, you have to put Jason Peters in. I'm not excited about that. So, seeing those as what our needs are. Let's bump this up some randomness. Let's run through a draft pick. Now, my previous draft, which supposed that we wanted to get rid of Dak, is completely gone. Dak is now a huge trade hit. So that is not what's going to be happening. I think that was dumb. I don't think you should have restructured his deal, but that's what they decided to do. Why is Elliott? Oh, Elliott's a post June 1st cut. So you're not going to get any of his money until after June 1st. Now, understanding that where I think we need a draft, okay, I'm looking at receiver, corner. Let's go ahead and start this. Bryce Young going first. I think that's a mistake. Ooh. Man, Deontay Banks went right before us. Kalijah Cansey going at 22. Bijan's long gone. Dalton Kincaid is here. I have a hard time drafting a tight end in the first round. I think he'd be a good receiver, and I definitely don't want Michael Mayer. I don't think he fits. We just have a lot, man. Being the bottom of the first is not fun. So we've got some oh gosh, we have terrible trade opportunities. I don't really want DeJuan Jones. He's right tackle, so we have Terrence Steele. We put a second round tender on him. I think Dalton Kincaid is just the best. You could go Cyrus Torrance. He played right guard, so you'll have to switch him over. Avila's not worth a first round pick. I mean, I think Dalton Kincaid is just how this landed. Run on corners, run on receivers, defensive linemen. I would rather have Kalijah Cansey, but obviously he is not here. So I think Dalton Kincaid is going to be the pick here. Let's see who falls. Hyatt in the second. Keanu Benton in the second. What? That is crazy. Deion Henley is here. I do think we need another linebacker. I don't think we need a weak. We keep drafting weak side linebackers. But I think it's a need that we have. Apparently, Jabril Cox is just not is not developing how they want him to develop, and we 23, 24. But I think to shore up that defense, which is already good, I think it's a strength. Now, you would also want to consider Garrett Williams. Now, he tore his ACL, and he's a man corner. But he's a really good man corner. And I think having someone who doesn't need to start and can sit for a year or two is worth picking. However, I don't think it's worth picking in the second round. Now, Andre Carter is here, and talent-wise is a first-round pick. But he's in the armed forces, and so that's why no one's picking him. But I think Deion Henley, I really love Tank Dell. I really love Tank Dell. But I really don't want an inside receiver. Man, he plays so well, but he is 5'8", 165 pounds. He is tiny. I can't justify picking him in the second round. I wouldn't be mad. If the Cowboys love him that much and they pick him in the second round, I'm not mad. But if I'm the GM, it's my job on the line, I'm not picking him in the second. I would consider Garrett Williams in the second. Typical Brooks. Eli Ricks, I would not consider in the second. Siaki Ika. We do need some interior help. And he's a fatty. He's a big nose tackle, and I would not mind having a big nose tackle. But just based off value, I think we're going Deion Henley. All right, Garrett Williams is still here. So is Carl Brooks. Carl Brooks has some defensive interior flex. He didn't do it a lot, but he can. Man, dude, I like both these guys. I wouldn't mind having both of them. Dwayne McBride's here. Tank Bigsby's here. Ah, man. Again, Garrett Williams is not ready to start. He's coming off an ACL tear. He is a pure outside corner. Yeah, man, it's just he's very much a man-to-man coverage. Very much man-to-man coverage. I wouldn't mind having both of them, though. And if we're just talking about this year, I'd probably take Carl Brooks. Just because of his flex on the inside. He could. But I am worried about our cornerback room. And I feel like we have enough young guys on our defensive line. The only older one we have is Lawrence. So I would rather pick a corner for the future instead of an edge / maybe interior. So I think we're going to take Garrett. I don't think I'll be able to trade up. Ooh, he didn't take him. The other thing is Carl Brooks might be someone who PFF he just drops. But he for sure won't be there. Oh, they're not going to take anything. Let's just run it through. Okay. Dwayne McBride is still here. Now, I like Dwayne McBride. He doesn't get the ball passed to him very much. He's a thumper, but I don't think you need him to catch a lot of balls. I don't think you need him to catch a lot. I wouldn't mind taking a running back here. Is there anybody? Interior. Coburn. Roshan Johnson. I believe he met with the Cowboys. I do like Bryce Ford Wheaton. He is wicked fast, and he is 6'4", 220. I think he'll probably go up to 225, 230. But I think at this point, taking Dwayne McBride is the best shot here. Wow, all A's. Here we go. So, Dalton Kincaid is kind of a luxury pick. I think you need another pass catcher. So it does help with that. I don't think Ferguson is the threat that Dalton Kincaid can be. Deion Henley definitely help shore up our linebacker room. I'm not too worried if Jabril Cox can hack it with him, because our linebacker room is a big question mark. We have Micah Parsons, LBE, and that's kind of it. Which is another reason why we might be wanting to go after Bobby Wagner. I wouldn't mind going after Miles Jack, but again, it's all about that price tag. We have $16 million to play with. But I think this is a solid draft. I'm only doing 4 rounds. I'm not going to act like I know all of these no-name guys within the 5th, 6th, 7th rounds. I'm not going to be able to give good evaluation. But Dalton Kincaid gives us another pass catcher. Deion Henley shores up our linebacker room. Garrett Williams is a future pick. It's a pick for the future. Hopefully when Stephon Gilmore leaves, which at maximum is probably 2 years, I think we have a shutdown corner. It'll be man-to-man. But I think he's athletic enough that he can adjust to his zone defense, and he will be able to shut people down. And then Dwayne McBride. This is a really luxury pick. I think we're fine. I think with Tony Pollard and Ronald Jones, man, I think you're fine. Tony Pollard starting, Ronald Jones, even with Malik Davis and Rico Dowdle, I think that's fine. I don't think you need to pick a running back in this draft. It's so deep. Yeah, you could let him run through all the way to the 7th and pick someone good still. But I think that's playoff territory. I think it's playoff territory if they can do it right. So anyway, guys, I will see you later. Hopefully, we can get another free agency signing, and that'll change a little bit of what we need in the draft. But until next time.